Hello everybody, welcome back to PW IELTS and TOEFL Prep. My name is Vandana and this is PTE Launchpad series. How have you been guys? Now today in this session we are going to dive deep into PTE Reading, and specifically the question type that I've taken for you is drag and drop. And let's quickly get started and understand this question type in great detail. So here we go. All right, so let's just use the right. Okay, fine. So we are going to dive deep into fill in the blanks, drag and drop. Voila, fill in the blanks today. Now, the very first thing, as usual, we are going to understand this question type in detail so that we don't screw it up when it comes to answering the blanks, and we just don't goof up. Okay, so let's understand some tips. So the very first tip over here is you need to read the entire sentence for each blank. I'll tell you what happens. Many times when you do this question type, you are very confident कि ये answer blank में जाने वाला है. But that sometimes is the wrong answer just because we did not read the entire sentence. What I'm trying to say is, in simple words, don't decide your answer by reading half part of the sentence. You definitely need to read what is written before the blank and what is written after the blank, the whole sentence. Moving on, focus on grammar and logic whenever you are doing fill-ups, be it the PTE exam or the IELTS exam. Whenever you are doing fill-ups, be it the listening module or the reading module, if your words that you are putting in that blank, if that does not go grammatically and logically both, that's not your answer. So whatever word you are picking in should fit in grammatically. Focus on collocations. Collocations are words that go together, and यहाँ पे बहुत गड़बड़ होती है. It's a part of vocabulary. You need to be very sure of the word that you are putting in the blank. You need to be sure that they are going together or not. Let me quickly give you an example for you to be able to understand how they play games with collocations. Let's take this one, fast glance. This is T, guys. This is not F. Just forgive my handwriting. Okay, fast glance. And here, quick something. Okay, let's say anything quick. But now, if you see, what do we say? Glance means किसी चीज पे नजर मारना, right? Now, when we use the word glance, we usually use the word fast with it, right? So these are known as collocations which go together. I mean the words that go together. So you need to be very careful of these things, guys. If you are not using them correctly, let's give you another example. For example, we say make a mistake, right? But many times, हम सबसे हुई है ये गलती, we have used do a mistake. That I don't want to do a mistake. Now, when you say do a mistake, this is the wrong collocation. Now, if you see the word mistake written right after the blank, and in the options you get do as well as make, you would know that do is a trap. Do is not the right answer. Moving on, use elimination method. So what happens is, if you are given 4 blanks, right? And for 4 blanks, they'll obviously throw some distractors at you. They'll give you more than 4 options for that. Now, what you need to do is, you need to be very sure. You need to pick the questions which you are sure of कि यहाँ पे ये answer जा रहा है. And automatically, you need to start eliminating the ones which you are very sure कि ये यहाँ पे fit नहीं हो रहा है. So elimination is something that will help you in getting the right answer. Elimination means just removing the options that you are sure कि ये तो fit हो ही नहीं रहे हैं इस blank में. So eliminate them and remove your confusion. Solve easy blanks first. If you are stuck on any question which you are finding hard, just leave it and move ahead. Get done with the easier ones, and automatically, once you are done with the easier ones, difficult ones के लिए आपके पास बहुत कम options रह जाते हैं. So that becomes easy to get the answer. Moving on, recheck every answer after completion. This is very important, and do not spend too much time on one single blank. Yes, obviously. Moving on now, let's understand a few more traps that are there. Okay, so let's understand a couple of traps. Trap number 1 is similar meaning words. For example, if you look at these two words, economic versus economical, these two words sound very much the same, but they have absolutely different meanings. And ऐसे काफी सारे words होते हैं. Now, economic means related to economy. However, economical means cost effective. Cost effective means something which is inexpensive. In Hindi, we say sasta. If we are using the word sasta in Hindi, for that the English version is economical, not economic. Not economic. Okay. So focus on these kind of traps. Moving on. All right. Now here I want you to post the answer in the comment section, but पहले समझ लेते हैं. So some words are intentionally placed to confuse you. Let's understand with this example. Now the example here says, although the company experienced financial difficulties last year, it managed to dash its profits through effective marketing strategies. And then the options given to you are maintain, increased, collapse, suffer, or reduce. Why don't you post your answer in the comment section and in the chat box, and then we'll discuss. Which of the options go best for this blank, guys? Come on, let me see. Right, let's understand. So, although is a conjunction of contrast, we use this conjunction with contrasting ideas. Number one, okay? Now, let's understand what's the contrast over here. It says, although the company experienced financial difficulties, that means this is a negative sentence here. They're talking about difficulties in first part of the sentence. Therefore, the second half of the sentence should be positive, should have something positive. So the second half of the sentence says, it managed to dash its profits. It managed to collapse means going down. Suffer also doesn't go here. And reduce again means decrease. Now we need something positive, not negative here. These three words have negative connotation. Suffer, reduce, and collapse. So that's how you eliminate the wrong ones. And how are we able to understand that these are the wrong ones? Because we know that although is a conjunction which goes with contrasting ideas. So this is something, even if you are preparing for the IELTS exam, these kind of things will help you in IELTS reading also. You will be able to understand the tone. Now we are left with just two options, which are maintain and increased. What do you think now? What can be the right answer, guys, out of maintain and increased? Come on, this is super simple now. Let me see. What do you think can be the right answer? Come on, let me see. Let me see. All right. Now your takeaway here is this word increased is in the past tense. So even this does not go. The right word here is maintain. It managed to के साथ हमेशा first form of verb आता है ना V1. That is why we are taking maintain. Increased is not V1. Increased is V2, which is why maintain is the right answer. So you also need to maintain tense consistency here. Okay. Now moving on. Let's take a look at our very first practice exercise. And here we go. So this is how you are shown this question, drag and drop. You have options given at the bottom and you can simply drag them, but we will be writing the options here in the boxes. Let's just read them one by one, the sentences. Now the very first sentence over here says, music is a universal language that everyone should be given access to. Music education should dash children. Music education should what children? To develop a love of music and enjoy learning to play musical instruments. We have to read the whole sentence, and that's what we have done. Now see, music education should dash children. Should what children? Should it compose? Should it sense, weigh, inspire, appreciate, engage, approach? What do you think is the right answer, guys? Come on, this is a piece of cake. That means super simple. Let me know the right answer according to you guys. Just focus on the first one. Don't try to do all the questions. Okay. Now, the first one very clearly over here is inspire. It says music education should inspire children to develop a love of music and enjoy learning to play musical instruments. Let's move to the next one. It says this will then increase their dash of achievement as they gradually improved. This will then increase their dash of achievement. What of achievement, guys? What of achievement? Now, this is what we call as collocation, sense of achievement. With these two words here of achievement, we usually, most of the times, this word sense goes. So, sense of achievement. This will then, when you do something successfully, you feel a sense of achievement. So, these three words often go together, and that's what we call as collocations. Okay. So, this will then increase their sense of achievement as they gradually improve. As pupils progress, they should develop a critical dash to music, allowing them to dash original songs on their own. Post the last two options, guys. Let me see your answers for the last two. So we are done with sense. We are done with inspire. Let's understand the third one. It says, as pupils progress, they should develop a critical what? Critical compose? No. Critical way? No. Critical appreciate? No. Critical engage? No. Critical approach. So that's how we eliminate and zero in on the correct answer. Critical approach, allowing them to dash original songs on their own. Allowing them to what original songs on their own? Compose. Compose original songs on their own. That means the remaining ones were just not used. Which ones were extra? Engage, appreciate, and weigh. Three extra options which were simply not used, and this is going to happen every time and the level may increase. This was super simple level. Let's proceed to practice exercise 2, and here we go with the answers. This is the second exercise. Let's read it sentence by sentence. So it says, much of the data collected about us is held in private hands. There's an ethical dash to be made that it should be made available for research purposes and thereby used for the public good. Ethical what to be made? Ethical overcome, ethical contract, ethical case, ethical challenge, ethical defend, or ethical ensure. What do you think is the right answer here? Ethical case. Ethical means moral. I wrote cash. Case. Okay, next one. However, companies that have large data sets are coming under increasing pressure to dash that they reduce the risk of a data breach, making it harder to pass data to the third parties. So they are coming, companies are coming under increasing pressure to dash. To what? To ensure. To ensure that they reduce the risks of a data breach, making it harder to pass data to third parties. And finally, there will be many legal and technical hurdles to dash in order to make sharing data for research purposes viable. Last answer can be exactly what, guys? There will be many legal and technical hurdles to dash. Hurdles to dash. Hurdles to what? Right. So, hurdles to overcome. That's again a collocation. Hurdles to overcome. All right. So, that was the second practice exercise. And once again, just for these three answers, we were given 6 options. 3 extra were thrown at us as distractors. Let's move ahead and get done with the final exercise for the day. And here you go. Now, the very first question over here says, sometimes journalists interview a range of people to find out dash opinion. To find out what opinion, guys? This is extremely simple. Let me see your responses in the chat box. Okay, so the right answer here is public opinion. Right. So sometimes journalists interview a range of people to find out public opinion. This dash of interview is called a vox pop and normally happens in the street. This dash of interview is called a vox pop and normally happens in the street. This dash of interview means what? Do you say this kinds of interview, prepare, record of interview, knowledge, topic of interview, style, audience, or public? What do you think can be the right answer over here? Come on, this is super simple. Let me see your responses. Okay, now for the second one, there can be a confusion between two options. Probably some of you would say this kinds of interview and some of you would say the style of interview. The right answer is style, and let me explain why. Why not kinds? Again, the grammar here. So for example, just before the blank, we have got this. With this, we take a singular noun. However, this noun here, kinds, is not singular. It's plural. If it had been these, if it had been these before the blank, then we could have written kinds. Just a sec. And that's how grammar matters a lot. Okay. Moving on, journalists do not need to dash much. Journalists do not need to dash much for vox pops, but it is still necessary to research the dash they are planning to ask questions about a little. So that means what we are done with already. We are done with the word public as well as style. These are the two that we are done with. Let's get the remaining two answers from the remaining options. So why don't you post answer number 3 in the chat box in next 1 minute, because it's super simple. Okay. So it says journalists do not need to prepare much. Prepare much for Vox Pop, but it is still necessary to research the dash. Research what? Research the topic or research the audience? Which one do you think is going here? Oh, finally we got one answer. Yes, actually. But I would have really appreciated if the answers had started coming up earlier. Now we are close to wrapping up. Yes, topic. Right. So it says, but it is still necessary to research the topic they are planning to ask questions about a little. And there you go. We did 3 practice exercises. And I hope I was able to help you a little bit with this question type. And if you have any problems, any doubts, or if you want me to cover any other topics of PTE exam or even the IELTS exam, feel free to post in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to help you guys. Bye bye, everyone. Take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.